Cam, Ian, thanks so much. Syracuse and 16th ranked Illinois. Let's have a ball tonight. Why not? Welcome into our Ostrom Avenue studios from McClurg Team Countdown the Tip-Off. I'm your host, Trey Redfield. Before getting into the nuts and bolts of this matchup, here are some ways to stay tuned tonight and to every broadcast we have here on WAER. You can find us on your radio dial, 88.3 FM. If you're not in the area, find us at WAER.org. Lastly, for score updates, head over to our Twitter page, at WAER Sports, and to listen back to in-game highlights or any of the feature pieces during pregame and halftime that are aired, our SoundCloud is at WAER Sports. And one last thing, you can tell your smart speaker, hey Alexa, play WAER. All right, here we go. Game 7, let's rock. Game 6 was Saturday for the Orange, and it was not the greatest. Cuse fell to Bryant 73-72 on a layup from Sharif Gross-Bullock with less than a second to go. The main story, though, was a fight in the first half. So, SU head coach Jim Boeheim, how did Bryant head coach Jared Grosso approach you after the loss?
He gave me a sarcastic apology, which fits him. It really wasn't an apology. That's why I didn't really accept it. He said he apologized. It wasn't that kind of an apology.
Boeheim was not a fan, and this could be fueled from 2 years ago when the Orange beat the Bulldogs by 1. Boeheim said his team was not ready to play due to COVID restrictions, but Grosso, after the loss, claimed his team gave Cuse, quote, 5 opportunities to cancel. But back to Saturday. That scuffle led to 3 Bryant players get ejected, along with Syracuse point guard Judah Mintz. Boeheim says the freshman's ejection was extremely impactful.
Yeah, I mean, he's our best player. You know, you don't want to lose him. He started the game taking threes. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was thinking, but hasn't taken a three in 2 or 3 games.
Before Judah got ejected, he scored 7 points in just 9 minutes of action. Someone else that got his playing time cut short, Jesse Edwards. The senior fouled out with 12 points and a career-high 21 rebounds. Remember that game-winning layup from Gross-Bullock I talked about just a couple of moments ago? Well, Boeheim says if Edwards was still in the game, it would have ended differently.
Jesse, again, is the first couple of plays, the first couple of fouls that he gets that takes him out of the game. If he's in the game at the end, he blocks that shot. He's just got to be better at that.
And Edwards has been. That was the first time the big man has tallied 5 fouls in a game this season, something he did 11 times last year. But enough of the negatives. Time for a pair of positives. Justin Taylor and Chris Bell. Taylor had a game-high 25 points, and Bell scored 14. Boeheim says the pair of freshmen can light it up.
But those 2 guys can shoot, and I thought Jesse did a good job of getting the ball out to those guys.
Even when the freshmen show out, Boeheim offers praise to the senior staple down low. The 47-year head man will need all hands on deck tonight against 16th-ranked Illinois, Syracuse's first top 25 opponent of the season. All right, it's time for a break. More to come on the other side. This is McClurg Team Countdown the Tip-Off on WAER. Well, Cam, they just look ice cold right now. Nothing is finding bottom right now for the Orange like you guys talked about. Syracuse trailing Illinois 30-23 after 1 half of play as we welcome you back into our Ostrom Avenue studios for the St. Joseph's Health Halftime Checkup. I'm your host, Trey Redfield. The Orange trailing by 7 right now and finishing that first half of play with no points in the remaining 4 minutes and 55 seconds. 3 turnovers in there as well, with that shot clock violation in there too. And it's very similar back to Saturday. Illinois scoring on its last possession, something Bryant did with that front court right heave that was from 35 feet out. When Jared Grosso called a timeout, Illinois does the same here. The Fighting Illini wrapping up the first half with emphasis up 7. Let's get into some player stats right now. Find out who leads the way for the Orange. Jesse Edwards has himself 7 points. That's the team high right now for the Cuse. Jesse also has himself 10 rebounds, coming off of a 12-point, 21 rebound performance on Saturday against Bryant. Over on the other side, Illinois has itself a dominant player in Terrence Shannon Jr. We've talked about him a lot, and rightfully so, because he has a team high 9 points, all of them coming from beyond the arc. The Texas Tech transfer is 3 of 9 from deep. All right, that's a quick dive into the stats. Syracuse trailing Illinois 30-23 after one half of play. Trey Redfield here with you for the St. Joseph's Health halftime checkup. Time for a break, though. More on the other side here on WAER. For the first time since 2007. So the final buzzer is sounded in Chapel Hill as UNC narrowly defeats SU 14-13 for one final time. Let's go around the nation. Syracuse women's lacrosse dominated Louisville earlier today, 23-13. The Orange put serious distance between themselves and the Cardinals in the third quarter with a 12-goal explosion. In men's lacrosse, 6th-ranked Virginia travels to play Quinnipiac tonight at 8. The Cavaliers are a combined 4-0 against current members of the MAAC all time. Down in Ithaca, 12th-ranked Army scored an upset win over 4th-ranked Cornell today, 17-10. Two common opponents there for Syracuse, but 10 different players found the back of the net for the Black Knights. It was Army and Cornell that both defeated Syracuse inside the dome. Sticking with the Ivies, 11th-ranked UPenn took care of 14th-ranked Harvard 11-8 this afternoon. The win snaps a 2-game losing streak for the Quakers. And in the Big Ten, top dog Maryland beat 8th-ranked Ohio State 19-12. That just went final. The Terps remain undefeated at 11-0 on the season. The defending national runner-ups poised to go on another national championship run. 7th-ranked Rutgers snuck past Michigan this afternoon, 13-12. Attackman Ronan Jacoby notched a hat trick for the Scarlet Knights. But let's take it into the pros. Starting in Major League Baseball, the Mets fell to the Diamondbacks 3-2 this afternoon. New York starter Carlos Carrasco tossed 5 innings, striking out 8 and not allowing a run. So it's time for a break here on Orange Overtime. But when we come back, we'll bring you how it all went down. Radio replay is next on the other side. This is Orange Overtime on WAER. Hey, Katie. Syracuse men's basketball returned to the floor last night, taking on Oakland. It was the first time the Orange were at home this month, and they showed out in emphatic fashion.
Career win number 1,003 in a matchup between the two longest tenured head coaches in college basketball. Start to finish dominance from Syracuse, a blowout win for the Cuse on a Tuesday night. 95-66 the final score. The Orange win big over the Golden Grizzlies.
John Eads had the final call, and here are a couple of reasons why it was a 29-point win. First, there was an 18-0 SU run to close out the first half. Plus, Cuse featured 10 different point scorers, with Joe Girard and Jesse Edwards finishing with a team-high 18. Find out if Syracuse can share the wealth at home against old foe Georgetown on Saturday at 1. McClurg Team Countdown, the tip-off begins at 12:30. All rise. Aaron Judge is back in pinstripes. The outfielder signed a 9-year, $360 million deal this morning, returning to the Yankees. Judge hit 62 home runs last season, an American League single-season record. Sources say Judge turned down more money from the Padres to return to the Bronx, where he's going to make $40 million a year. Lots of pro sports going on tonight in the NHL. The Sabres hit the road to face the Blue Jackets at 7:30. The Rangers do the same, going cross-country to face the Golden Knights at 10. And at 7:30, the Knicks host the Hawks, while the Nets welcome in the Hornets. I'm Trey Redfield, WAER Sports.